It started small, like most things do when they go wrong. Just little things, you know? Things you barely notice at first. Then you try to tell yourself you didn't see or hear. But you did. Oh God, you did. I remember that morning, clear as day, even now, through all the haze. I was just doing my usual rounds out in the old warehouse, the place we called home now. Checking the stores, making sure everyone had what they needed for the week. Post-collapse, survival means planning, means resources. And I was the resource man, the guy with the gift. The copier, they called me. Alex, the miracle worker, pulling food and water out of thin air. Or, well, not thin air, but you get what I mean. I went for the water first. We always needed water. So I focused, felt that familiar pull in my gut, that sorta tingle. And there it was, another full plastic bottle, sitting right next to the empty one it had supposedly copied from, clear as glass. Good. So I grabbed a clean cup, poured myself some. And as the water hit the plastic, I saw it. Just a faint tint, really. A pale, almost shimmering blue. Not quite the pure, colorless transparency it should have been. Like it had caught the color of the faint blue morning sky filtering through a crack in the roof. Maybe it was just the light, I told myself. Must be. So I poured another cup, drank it, tasted fine. Normal. Yeah, normal. I dismissed it. Probably just a trick of the light, like I always told myself, and everyone else. A few days later, it was the food. Canned stuff, mostly. Always canned stuff. Spam, beans, peaches. We were tired of it, but it was calories. Life. I reached for a can of baked beans. I had copied a whole stack of them the day before, just to be sure we had enough for a week. As I grabbed one, felt the cold metal, I thought I heard something. A sound, a whisper almost, like a tiny, muffled whimper coming from inside. It was there, then gone. Metal scraping against metal, that's all it was. Just the sound of the can opener, you know? My ears were playing tricks on me. They always did, out here. The silence often made you hear things. But then, as we were all eating, sitting around the old crate table, spoons clanking against bowls, I heard it again. That tiny, faint moan. Not from the can this time. It was inside. Like it was coming from the back of my own head, echoing in my skull. I stopped chewing for a second, my spoon halfway to my mouth. I looked around. Sarah, young kiddo, was engrossed in her beans. Mark, head buried in his, just shoveling it down. No one else reacted. Nothing. So I told myself it was my imagination. The stress. Yeah, that had to be it. Just the stress getting to me. I took a deep breath, forced myself to finish the meal. Nothing special about it. Nothing at all. Then came the apple. We didn't get fresh fruit often, not real fresh fruit anyway. My copies were the closest thing. I had made a small batch of apples just to check the quality before I made a big haul. This one looked perfect, red, glistening, smooth, a real beauty. But when I brought it up to my nose, a vague, faint smell hit me. Tangy. Not bad exactly, but off. Like a fruit that was just about to turn. A little bit sour. It hung in the air, subtle but undeniably there. I stared at the apple. Another batch, not quite right, I muttered under my breath. My power wasn't perfect, I knew that. It had little glitches sometimes, minor imperfections. They were always minor. Always. Sarah walked in just then, rubbing sleep from her eyes. She'd always been a light sleeper, always jumpy. I tried to sound cheerful, asked her about the plans for the week. distraction for both of us. But her reply was unsettling. She complained about the dreams. The whispers, she said, always in the night. Faint, like someone talking just outside the room, but she couldn't make out the words. Just a low, constant murmur. I brushed it off, of course. "We're all on edge, kiddo," I told her, trying to sound reassuring. "It's just the stress. This place, it gets to you." I believed it then, or wanted to. Later that night, I couldn't sleep. My mind was racing. The faint tang of that apple, the ghostly moan in my head, and Sarah's whispers. They all just layered on top of each other. I lay there, listening to the drip, drip, drip of water from a leaky pipe somewhere deep in the warehouse. Then I heard something else. A faint scratching. Inside the wall, it sounded like.